Alright guys, welcome back. So, real quick, I've had a lot of people ask me how to take the speakers out, or to get to the speakers, so we're going to go over that real quick. The book I got from Yamaha, from the dealership as their assembly booklet, is worthless. It shows you super small pictures, and you can't figure out what's going on where. But, like I said, this is just an assembly book. This isn't how to disassemble, so obviously you just have to reverse whatever they're telling you here. So instead, we just went and did it anyway. I'll show you kind of how to get down to it. I didn't take the speaker out or anything, but we will kind of just go through an easy way to get to them. And pretty much that's it. I'm going to put it back together. Like I said in my previous video, apparently there's a company that is trying to release a new amplifier and speakers for this bike at the end of the year. So to keep an eye out for those. I think the company was called Sounds. It's down in Florida. I'm going to see if I can try and find that, maybe put that in the next video once I hear more about it. I'm going to go out and research the company and see what they can give me information-wise, and then I could try to post that then, and hopes that maybe that could be an upgrade I could do in the near future as well, to just try something different. Alright, so we're looking around the bike. Alright, so we're going to try and remove everything. Now, I have the stuff already removed. I'll show you how to hit those certain access points to pull the panels off. But I did throw it all kind of back together so you could see it as it was being torn apart. So there's a bunch of screws and like little push pin type of things. A couple of the tools that I used, little flathead, standard screwdriver, and a panel puller. Then I also used a little ratchet gun with different size Allen tips to them. So that, to me, I found is the easiest way to start tearing these bikes apart. It prevents you from over torquing the screws when you put them back, and it helps you kind of break some things loose to without stripping something out. So I would suggest getting something maybe along those lines if you can afford to do so, and just keep it in your toolbox for when you work on your bike. So to start, get my microphone off here and rotate it around, make it easier to hear. First thing would be to take off this little cowling piece. Now I took the windshield off already. I didn't feel like putting it back on. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So take this little guy off. The second would be to take your actual windscreen off, which is a bolt here, here. Actually, they're plastic screws here and here, which have like little rubber things for vibration on the back side. And then once you get that off, I'm not sure if it's easier not to take the front panel off. I already did so just to kind of access, the back sides of the dash panel. So what you do is you take out a screw here and a screw over here. You might have to even move the mirrors kind of up and out of the way by twisting them forward. And then there's pop panels the whole way down the side, which the center one in the front popped already. Back together. That removes the whole front. So you have these little pins that kind of just snap it all together along the edges. Set that guy aside. Now you've made your way down to pretty much the top of the headlight housings and some other wiring. There's not a whole lot going on up here other than plastic cowling. So the next thing you can do is take off the screw here. Actually, these are push pins. No, these are screws here. But then on the back side, they have these little panel pins, which look like, I don't have any over there. These guys here. So what you do is you push that center piece down and in. This will pop out, and then to reset it, you push the bottom of it and just push the little nipple back out. And then once you get that torn apart, you can pop this away from your dashboard, and this whole panel comes out then. I'll lay that down there. And then this lower fairing here, there's a screw, I think that comes apart in the top there. Both in the top of the speakers, one there, one here. And then there's some on the lower side as well. I'm trying to make sure I have all. Those might actually be push pins as well. And then 2 screws here and here. So then once you get that guy kind of done, you just kind of have to pull it and wiggle them out of its space there a little bit. And then he comes out. Set him there. So once you get to that point, you can take out your actual dash panel, which you have to remove the two top sides of these plastic pieces here. There's a push pin down on the inside, as well as a screw that's actually inside the compartment. Once that's removed, there's another push pin down here, and then a push pin over here, and you can see I've already got this side removed, and you can just let him dangle. So then once you get that, you can start to pull the panel forward and off. There's a couple of clips in the back that you can push in. Do that without scratching the rest of it. To little points around the dashboard. You also have to pull this antenna out, which I believe is the Sirius XM antenna, that actually just pushes like this, and it clicks right into the top of that fairing. So once he's out, I just let him dangle. To get to the speaker on the other side, now like I said, you can see I already have this guy off. There's a couple of screws, so you actually have to open up this guy here again, take out the two screws on the bottom side, the screws on the top and the bottom here, then you have to lift him up and out, and there's a couple of pop pieces here, and then you have to take off the side panel as well. There's two or three screws here. It's two to get the outer plastic piece off, and then there's another screw in here yet that screws down to this guy here. And then once he's off, you can actually pop this panel using that panel puller, and it'll actually pull it straight forward and off the bike, and that will give you access to your speaker here. Might need a little bit more light, but there's the 4 screws and a wire that runs right down at the bottom side that you can access. Now, as far as where that wire goes, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna say there's probably a plug underneath there somewhere. This you can pull out, but this one's the locking one, so you actually have to get down underneath it and remove the plug then. So as far as anything else, you know, you're just gonna have to kind of go from there, but that's just the basics on how to actually get to the speaker itself. There's a lot of little screws and pieces to get to. There's a handful over here. I just keep them separated per piece that I took off, and then now I'll just pretty much snap it all back together and hopes that it all goes correctly. So yep, that's how you get to the speaker. I hope that is what you all were looking for, or some sort of information along those lines. Like I said, as I find out more information on the other setup, I will try and post it in another video. If you have any more questions, I will do my best to try and answer them. Like I said, I wasn't sure how this was going to get done, so I just decided I'm just going to go tear my whole bike apart and figure it out for you. So that's pretty much the down and dirty of it. Thank you for subscribing, liking the channel, ask any questions if you want, and we'll keep the conversation going. Ride safe.